Volusia Flagler Fantasy Football League. We're going to do something a little bit different. It is your boy known as Giselle's prenup, but I think we're going to have a name change for 2023. Yeah. I don't think that name change did me too well, right? Did me too well. And as always, our commish, Mr. Mud Dogs, a.k.a. maybe a new name in 2023. How we doing?
Maybe. Hey, doing all right. That sounds like a pretty good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you in that with sharing that sentiment, man. If the fantasy campaign doesn't go too hot as far as the season goes, maybe it's time to just archive a specific team name and shake things up, man. And
Yeah.
honestly, like I feel like the whole league overall this year kind of answered the bell, man. We saw a lot of different name changes for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure. I might turn back time to 2012,
Oh man.
the season of the comeback kid, you know? Still in my little punk pop phase there. But
There
yeah,
you go.
we're here to talk about something different, right? Fantasy football's over and we have a champion, Mr. Doug Gilligan. Um I thought about maybe coming up with a reward thing. Maybe we could do that in the next podcast in a couple weeks. But really, we're just here to talk about playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Playoffs, man.
playoffs,
And I'd
dude.
say, man, dude, they have not disappointed so far.
Absolutely
I mean,
not.
like wild card weekend was pretty wild for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, I
Emphasis
guess
on wild.
I mean, dude, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's go, baby.
Hey, and the big comeback against the Chargers. And dude, I was thinking about this yesterday, right? They look like they may have a window of a couple years where they're going to be able to start really, asserting their dominance in that division, man, because, they got the franchise quarterback, it looks like, with
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence and, Doug Peterson at the helm. He won the Super Bowl in Philly, right? The Colts are out there and,
I don't remember
they're
that.
going through it. Yeah, well, the Colts are going through a name change or a coaching change right now. The Texans are also going through a coaching search, and Tennessee, man, like w- I think we've all pretty much come to the conclusion Ryan Tannehill's not the long term answer, man. So I mean,
No.
Jacksonville's young, man,
Yeah, dude.
young.
So I'm not a big Doug Peterson fan, right? We all know why I'm not, and I'm not really a big
Well
Jaguars fan
documented.
either. I'm not really a big Jags fan either. Biggest reason for me personally, um, back in 2018, 2019, whenever they made that run in the playoffs, that deep run, and they lost to the Pats in the AFC Championship game. Um, I think more so than anything, it stems from Jalen Ramsey just being a douche. Um, but the following season, I went to Jags Pats Week 3.
Uh-huh.
And I've never had that many beers thrown at me. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy a nice cold beer thrown my way, but thrown on me and my wife, along with a couple loogies as I'm leaving the stadium after a tough L after week 3. Jaguars fans are right up there with Dolphins fans in my mind. But Trevor Lawrence is a stud. I like underdogs, and I'm rooting for him today against the Chiefs. Purely for business reasons, as some of us in this league know. I'm not a big fan of anything from Kansas City, Missouri. So,
we we won't put that on the channel, but yes, yes.
dilly
You
dilly.
know, right, right. I mean, the Chargers also, just trying to tie in a little fantasy relevance, man. They just can their OC, so they're going to be definitely trying to get probably more a pro offensive mind in there to take advantage of having Justin Herbert and those other weapons at their disposal. So
Yeah.
that's definitely going to be a storyline to monitor this offseason. Dude, Seattle, San Francisco, that game was kind of close there for about like a half, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And um, San
Almost three
Francisco
quarters.
just
Almost three
yeah.
quarters. And then all of a sudden, Tom Brady 2.0 just got locked in, dude.
Oh, dude.
Hurt.
You know what the kids are calling him out there in San Francisco, it sounds like?
TB Jr.
Big Cock Brock.
I like it. I like it, dude. I like it.
But hey man, like you got to give it to the guy, man.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
he's definitely getting it rolling. But it also helps to have a star-studded cast around him. And I mean, San Francisco, they're definitely geared up to make a Super Bowl run here.
Absolutely.
Um, I mean, I guess the question for the Niners is what are they going to do at quarterback this offseason, man? I mean, you still got Trey Lance going to be coming off an injury. Jimmy GQ, dude, I mean, is he
He's
going to
out.
be reunited
No,
in New England or what,
I,
man? Like,
he's
is
not
he
going
going
to New
back?
England. No. No.
Uh,
So, we talk about the coach carousel, right, and stuff. And I think what's more um, captivating to me is the OC moves this season.
hmm
There's a lot of teams out there that need an OC right now.
yeah.
Baltimore needs one now. The Chargers need one. The Patriots need one. And you got a lot of good offensive minded coaches that don't have jobs right now. Well, maybe they have jobs, but not necessarily in NFL. Bill O'Brien's a big one. Um,
hmm
you know, another BD. Big Dick Cliff is out in Thailand right now with all the honeys. With the pools that have the waterfalls in them, with booties getting shook in his face, saying, "I don't give a fuck
Sure.
about Arizona." You know,
Yeah.
cheers to him, dude. Um, that's the way you ride off in the sunset.
hmm hmm
Um, but there's a lot of offensive minded coaches right now that have potential to land in organizations and make huge impacts on teams that were less than stellar offensively last season. So that's something that I'm really interested to see. Um,
hmm
but as far as the 49ers go, if Purdy takes them to the show
hmm
and Purdy wins the show circa 2001, what Tom did, for San Francisco to give that ball back to Trey Lance is an absolute mistake.
Yeah.
Get him out. Get him out.
Sure.
Jimmy, dude, I,
Yeah.
I,
I
I
mean,
think Jimmy lands Tampa Bay, Oakland, Houston, Miami. Now, those are all teams. Jets, you know. I mean, you got a couple big QBs this season that are going to be moving teams, and I don't see Tom Brady in Tampa next season. I don't.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No,
he's
you're
got that.
right, man.
He's got that new girlfriend, man. I could see him. I could see him reuniting with Mr. McDaniel's. I see that.
Gotcha.
Weapons
Well, hey,
everywhere.
man, right. But before we get off this game, with just real quick on Seattle, man, to me, see that Seattle offense was probably one of the most slept on offenses going into fantasy drafts this past year, and for good reason. Because there was a lot of uncertainty what was going to happen with Geno Smith, man, and it, for the most part, dude, he answered the bell, man. I think he was like five
Yeah.
or six overall in scoring, and I mean DK Metcalf, and you know what? Look, man, I'm so sorry for to Tyler Lockett, like he was kind of slipping on my boards this year, and the dude just production machine.
Yeah.
And they got the young running back too, man, Walker. So um,
I mean, dude, Geno
yeah, I
Smith, I
was
think had the highest completion percentage in the NFL this season. 70%, I believe it
yeah,
was. He made Pro Bowl.
mhm,
I still don't believe in him.
yeah,
He played for the Jets.
gotcha.
Dead to me.
Well,
But
I'll tell you what, man. Let's go ahead and jump on to another one here. The Buffalo Bills, they slipped past the Dolphins, man, in a game that honestly, I think probably really shocked a lot of people.
yeah.
The Dolphins were really banged up coming into that matchup, going with your third string QB at the helm, man. And I mean, to me, the off-season question for Miami is really simple. Fantasy wise, it's just, so what are they going to do with Tua? I mean, you, me, every other fantasy analyst out there is just going to be speculating on like what his health is going to be going forward with the concussions, and that's all we can do.
Yeah.
So, um,
Tua
to
is,
me, they've got the
take the Miami thing aside, okay?
yeah.
Take my hatred for Miami aside. Tua is not a draftable quarterback for me next season. I
I
don't
mean, it's
care.
just
I
going to
don't
be
care if I
tough,
don't
man.
have one in the
Yeah,
12th round. I'm not drafting him. Absolutely
sure.
not. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
you
I
could
mean,
flick his ear and he's out for a month, dude. Like it's just
sure.
and I feel bad for him. He's a good dude, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, like I said, if depending on what they end up doing in the draft, man, like to me, it's tough to really trust Mostert and Jeff Wilson as RB1s going forward. Obviously the two big dogs on the outside speak for themselves, and Hill and Waddle. It sounds like Gesicki's probably going to move on in the offseason. So, but I mean, Miami tight end really hasn't been, a big sought after
no,
player for years and years in fantasy. But I mean, to me, the Bills, we could sit here and talk. I mean, Allen and Diggs, you can talk about them all day long. Wide receiver two, wide receiver three. Mm, to me, the interesting piece for the Bills offense for this upcoming fantasy season is going to be the backfield, man. James Cook, and it's can James Cook, take that step to become RB1 over Devin Singletary in that backfield, man. And we'll see what happens, man, because with I feel like they kind of got a little exposed a little bit, man. And
yeah.
maybe Buffalo's not the team that's going to be, you know, going to the Super Bowl in the
If
AFC.
if Buffalo plays like they did last weekend, tomorrow at 3
Hmm.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time against the Bengals, they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
We did not see a Bills team that was ready to go at all. That game should not have been close. It shouldn't have been. The Bengals are coming with it, dude. And did you see that Ocho is trying to get a seat?
Oh no.
Mr. Ocho Cinco is trying to make the trip, but he's cheap. And he's like, how much are tickets? Imagine, imagine being an NFL, potential Hall of Fame receiver
Uh-huh.
and asking how much a ticket is. Like, dog, we got bigger things to worry about, like eggs right now, okay? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, the Bills gotta bring it tomorrow, dog.
Yeah.
They better have DeMar Hamlin on that field cheerleading. They need something.
Sure.
They got to have
Yeah.
something going on, man, because they bring what they brought last weekend with Cincinnati coming to town
Mhm.
with Macaulay Culkin's roided out cousin and Jamar Chase. It ain't happening.
I got you.
But,
I got
so
you.
what do you think? What do you
Well,
think for picks this week, man? What do you think's gonna
let's
happen? My
well, let
picks
me go and
last
put
week,
this
even
up.
though we didn't do a video about it, right? I am undefeated so far in the playoffs. Undefeated.
Gotcha.
Jacksonville
All right,
almost
man.
scared
So
me, but
I tell you, all right, picks, man. All right, we'll start it up. 3:30 today. Jacksonville at KC, man. God, KC's looking at -9. It's at home. It's at Arrowhead, man. It's gonna be tough. I mean, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, they're just. It's tough to bet against them, man. Yeah, damn it. That What the hell? I would probably just go with the Chiefs, man. I mean, I feel like it's got to be Kansas City at home against Jacksonville. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I want the Jags to win. Anytime that you get a team that's not there consistently or not one of the, odds on favorites at the beginning of the season, you want to see it. But I got to take the Kansas City Chiefs at home.
it's upset Saturday, baby.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
It's upset Saturday for me. They're gonna
I mean,
find a
the
way.
Chiefs are beatable. Don't get me wrong. They're
They're gonna
definitely beatable.
they're gonna find a way, dude. Their defense, Jags defense is good, dude.
Mhm. And
Jags
defense
defense,
travels in the NFL.
yeah. Jaguars defense is good. It's is Trevor Lawrence going to get in a rhythm? If he throws 4 picks in the first half, he's not going to win. He's got to
Sure.
play smart football. Hand it to the boy in the backfield. Let Etienne do his thing. Kansas City's defense is not that tough, and
Hmm.
he's got weapons. Um, I'm going on a limb, dude. Jaguars by 3 for me.
All right. Nice, dude.
I,
Nice. Nice.
What do
All
kids say
right.
these days?
Uh,
Manifest. I'm gonna
yeah.
manifest. Yeah,
You gotta put it out there in the universe, baby. All
yeah,
right. Well, Saturday night matchup, man. You got the G-men on the road at Philly in a hostile environment in Philadelphia.
yeah. Both
Man,
both
dude,
these both these
Danny
teams are
Di-
trash.
Dude, Danny Dimes came to play last week, man, against the Vikings. But the Vikings got they had the most one win or one possession win games in all of the NFL last year, or this past season. And it just so happened that I think like their first loss in a one possession game just happened to be in the playoffs, and that's usually not where you want to start your bad streak.
Yep,
So I don't know, man. I mean, the key in this one's going to be what's Jalen Hurts' health going to be. I mean, I know he's been banged up down the stretch, and as much as I'd like to see Wildman Gardner Minshew get in there and go rolling around for Philly, maybe I'll go with this trend, man, and I'll go upset. I'll take the Giants on the road in Philly.
that makes two of us. It's upset Saturday.
All right, okay.
It's upset Saturday, dude. I'm not a big Jalen Hurts fan, personally. Um, he's a good QB, but he's banged up. I think his O line's banged up too. Um, is it? Can't remember his name, but I know he's got a big player out. Um, yeah, dude, Giants are hot right now. They're one of the hotter teams, and I mean, I hate both of those teams with a passion. But I'm gonna take the G-men.
I got you. All right, man. Sunday's docket, the early one. 2 p.m. Central Time, total leather out here. We got the Bengals taking on the Bills, and I know we didn't talk about the Bengals and the Ravens, as far as last week's recap go, but I mean Cincinnati also has to be categorized as a team that, probably was in a closer game than what people expected and thought they were going to be in. Granted, it was a divisional game against Baltimore, and it seems like every time these AFC North teams get together, man, it's just a knockdown, drag out, like brawl of just ugliness that ends up being a 17-13 game or a 20-17 game. And I feel like seeing Buffalo's performance last week against Miami uh, probably swung the pendulum a little bit more on Cincinnati's side. But man, you know what? I think Buffalo may have been looking ahead just a little bit. I thought they may have probably thought that they could kind of play it a little bit closer to the vest last week against the Dolphins and just kind of roll them. So I think Buffalo, with what they've had to deal with as an organization over the past month, plus there being at home, and the fact that I have no idea what the weather conditions are going to be like up in Orchard Park this weekend, I'm going to take the Bills at home in this one to go to the AFC title game.
So I agree with your statement about them looking ahead last week, and I think the Bengals kind of were too.
Hmm.
I think this game is going to come down to which team plays to the best of their ability at this point.
Hmm.
Um, I'm telling you, dude. Damar Hamlin runs out on that field tomorrow. Not as a player, right? But if he comes out on
Yeah,
that field,
leads the team out or something like
if he
that. Yeah,
leads the team out or he comes out, the game's over. It's over.
yeah,
It's over.
yeah. Well, hey, I I will say this, man. I saw this yesterday, and Ian Rappaport reported on it, man, that they've already had a pre-sale for the Chiefs Bills game in Atlanta, and it's already sold like
50,000.
60,000 things in tickets or
Yeah.
something like that. So, yeah, hey, there may be a little added juice in the Jacksonville Cincinnati locker room this weekend with that being out in circulation right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I think this is going to be a barn burner.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
either defense is coming. I think they're going to be,
AFL style,
yeah, dude.
Arena Football League.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
I
going to
got
be
you.
like an Orlando Predators game back in the day.
Oh, yeah, back in the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Good deal.
This is going
Well,
to
I
be,
mean,
like a 41-35, 38-35. It's gonna be a big. It's
Mhm.
gonna be a high scoring game.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna take the Bills.
Bills. Okay. All right, man. Last one on the docket here. America's team, Dallas Cowboys, on the road in the Bay Area on the West Coast, taking on the Niners, man. 5:30 Central Time, total leather, man. That's to me, this one's probably going to be this is going to be the low scoring contest, man, because you got two defenses in the Cowboys and the Niners. It's going to be it's going to be a fun game to watch. Uh, it might end up being that type of game where you're maybe like, all right, who's finally going to punch one in the end zone in the first half to really kind of start to open this thing up. But I mean, you got Dak Prescott taking on Brock, and these two teams, they've been rolling for the most part this season. I mean, they got San Francisco is only -4 at home. So that just tells me like on a neutral site, man, it'd be San Francisco -1. So
Yeah.
whew, I tell you, I'm gonna go. God, dude, my coworkers are just they're gonna kill me when I say this because this would be a dreadful, dreadful day. Like you just Sean, you do not comprehend how bad it would be to live in the state of Texas. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like I hate the Cowboys. It's like they're just there to me, right? But if the Cowboys were to like F around and like win this whole thing, like you would see an ugliness that would just like spread throughout this country, man. You would see the worst of the worst fan base just all of a sudden just emerge.
Well, dude, they it's their year every year.
Yeah.
It's their
But you
year
know what?
every
Hey,
year.
man, I'm gonna take the Cowboys in this
I think the Cowboys are gonna win as well.
one. Oh God. Oh
I
God.
do think they are gonna win as well. I would love nothing more. I know we're fast forwarding, right?
Uh-huh.
I would love nothing more than a Bills Cowboys Super Bowl, reminiscent of when we were little GPs and little mud dogs.
Oh boy, dude. Man.
The Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith,
Uh
days
that would be wild, man.
when the
Yeah.
Cowboys were actually good. And then I
Mhm.
would love nothing more for the Bills to just absolutely fucking steamroll the Cowboys.
You
And they're
have
in
to
they're
think
in my
though.
division. I get it.
Yeah.
Bills should
Yeah.
be hated to me. Like I've said many times on this podcast, it's hard for me to hate the Bills when pretty much my whole life we beat them. You know,
Yeah.
it's not really been competitive until, God's gift to Buffalo, Mr. Josh Allen showed up. Okay. I'm
I
starting to
gotcha.
get there with the hatred. It's burning, but like anybody but the fucking Cowboys, dude.
Yeah.
Anybody. They are everywhere. They're everywhere. The amount of people that I saw walk into my store on Monday with fucking cowboy shit on, or Tuesday, excuse me, Tuesday. The amount of
Yeah.
people, it's like they have this shit in their closet and they're embarrassed to wear it, but they win a
Uh,
game and it's all on. And I'm talking about like 1993 starter Cowboys Jack windbreakers. You remember back in the day we were in, elementary, middle school, and we had to have those starter windbreakers.
sure.
Like, where is this shit coming from? It should have been burned out of Goodwill's back room 15 years ago. But it
Yeah,
all of
I
a
mean,
sudden, everybody's a Cowboys fan. I think they're gonna win this weekend, but
yeah.
I want them to go
I mean, just
all the way to the Super Bowl and
I
then
think
lose.
I mean, dude, real quick, man. Think back to when you and I were working out in the field during football season, and you show up on Monday morning, right? And you'd be sitting around with your coworkers before we start doing our, your JSA or whatever, your pre-work plan or whatever. And we're talking about football for the weekend, right? Now, sometimes if oh, it's a divisional game or your team's involved, whatever, right? It can maybe get a little bit heated. But let me tell you something, man. Living out here in Houston, Texas, you get to the job site like 6:30 in the morning just to watch the Cowboys fans and the Texans fans. Just, I mean, dude, take the worst Monday morning that you could even just remember out in the field here in Florida, and just magnify that crap by like 100, and that's like every Monday morning, right?
Hmm.
I mean, insanity to me, pure insanity. And these teams don't even play each other. They play each other like once every like 4 years, right?
Right.
And it's like it's a civil war, like every morning, every Monday morning during football season. So yeah, man, just imagine, just imagine if Cowboys are to win Super Bowl. Oh God, I mean Stephen A. Smith, he might be gone, right, off ESPN, because I mean he's been like their damn, he's the biggest like anti-Cowboy fan out there, right? Besides
Listen,
Sean Bowen.
nah, I wouldn't mind never seeing Stephen A. Smith again.
Eh,
Him and that Skip Bayless cat, dude. Like they can fucking just like climb in a hole and never come out, and I would be fine with that. YouTube, share that, okay? I don't care. Like just those two together, like they need to go away
gotcha.
forever.
Well, I tell you what, man. Let's go ahead and put a bow on this week, man. And so I think we pretty much settled in. We're probably going to be going just about every other week out here, just to step in or
Yeah,
stop by and BS and try to tie in any little like fantasy relevant information. And once we get into the off season, we may start doing a little bit more deep dive on
absolutely.
particular positions or whatever.
Yeah.
So
We'll see what happens. Maybe these games are maybe it gives us something worth talking about next week. Who knows? You know? We'll play it by
yeah,
ear. We're on vacation right now.
sure. That's right.
So
That's right.
all right. It's been fun, as always.
See y'all next time.
See ya.